Hey guys, we're here to talk about at-home workout number 37. It's the workout for Sunday, April 19th, and happy birthday, Tom B. All right, so for the warm-up, we're gonna do a quick warm-up today because we have a longer workout. You're gonna head on out for your 400-meter run. When you come back in, 5 inchworms in place. So John will walk his hands out, he'll do a push-up, walk his hands back in. Lots of tiny little steps, take your time, 5 of those. He's going to grab his broomstick, or if you're Smith, your fishing rod, whatever you got. And you're going to give me 10 broomstick overhead squats. So post that up overhead. Okay, as you sink down into that squat, remember knees are driving out, butt is going back and down, and you're trying to keep that bar straight overhead. Then 10 broomstick dislocates. So he's going to pull his shoulder blades, pull his shoulder blades together and then try and keep those elbows straight and go all the way over and back. Ooh. Next is 10 broomstick behind the neck presses. So he's going to get that almost in the starting position for a back squat, okay, just below those traps, and he's going to drive up and come back down. Nice and slow and controlled. If you've got shoulder issues and that movement doesn't feel good for you, just do it off your front. And then lastly, 10 broomstick good morning. So keeping that in the same position. Okay, he's gonna, good, show from the side. He's gonna have a slight bend in his knees, and he's gonna send his butt back. As his butt comes back, his chest drops. He stops when he feels a tug in his hamstrings, when he can't go any lower without starting to round that back. Okay, so nice straight back, 10 of those. All right, then what you're gonna do is 3 reps of every movement in the workout. We have a chipper for you today, so there's 10 different movements that you're gonna have to do at least 3 reps of. That's gonna be the rest of your warm-up. And John will walk us through that workout.
Cool. Yeah, like Nikki said, it's a at-home chipper. This is basically our at-home filthy 50. 10 movements, 50 reps of each. We're going to go through them all right now. So we're going to go right through in order. It's going to open up with 2-arm kettlebell or dumbbell push presses. So Nikki's going to grab...
I want to say light.
Good. Nikki's going to grab a kettlebell. The way she's grabbing that is a pretty good bet if you're doing the kettlebell push presses. Yeah, just grabbing kind of from the horns, bottom face up, and she's going to get just a little dip in her knees and then drive it straight up overhead. Cool. Give me one more. Cool. Turn to the side. Yeah, there we go. So Nikki's a really good example of this. She can get that full range of motion out of her shoulders. You may not be able to. You may be a little bit forward of that. Not the end of the world if you're going a little bit out in front of you, but you're trying to fight for pulling back without going into any discomfort in the shoulders. Dumbbells, you'll grab it by each head of the dumbbell, and same deal. After that, it's going to be hollow rocks. So Nikki's going to get down into a bowl shape here, arms are way back, and she's going to get this slight rock motion front to back. Right? You see everything's real tight there. The big thing you don't want to hit here is where you do a little hip swing where your legs move. Yeah, you can see that kind of using your legs to throw, that takes it out of the abs and goes right into the hip flexors. Yeah, if you're not doing that, we can do these tucks. Yes, you're just balled up a little bit more. And then basically the shorter those lever arms get, right, the appendages get, the easier this movement becomes, the more balled up you are.
If none of those are going to happen, you can do 50 dead bugs.
Yeah, yep. Then it's going to be kettlebell or dumbbell swings. So Nikki's going to get that real quick hip drive, fire all the way up overhead. If this doesn't feel good, as always, you can go Russian. Russian, we go 1.5. So 75 of these?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds right, yeah. Dumbbells, you're probably splitting the difference, going not all the way overhead, but kind of mid-range. And if you are going pretty high, you can still do the 50 reps there. The handstand shoulder taps are up next. So Nikki's going to kick upside down to a wall, and what she's going to do is touch a thumb or a hand to her shoulder. Notice it's same shoulder, which this is a challenging gymnastics movement, especially after you've done push presses. So she flips upside down, gets everything nice and tight, and then just starts going through these taps, which is great if you can do them. If not, we'd love to see you still try this and maybe just try and lift a hand, right? Just get that feeling of balance. Can you show just real quick?
Yeah, and you're going to want your feet, usually I'm an advocate for having everything squeezed tight together. This is going to feel a little better if you have a little separation in your feet, just like shoulder width.
Yeah, so she's got that little bit of spread in her feet, and that's kind of the mini version, right? Where she's going to just take a hand up and work on that balance. Okay. If you can't do that, we can do plank. So she just gets into a plank and tries to come up and touch the same shoulder. If that doesn't quite feel right, you can go across your body to the shoulder. It's a little bit easier to touch opposite shoulder from a plank. And that was it, right?
Yeah, I think most people should be able to at least manage that plank one.
Yeah, that one should be doable.
If you need a different variation, just shoot us a text or an email.
Yeah. Then it's going to be a 2-arm kettlebell or dumbbell sumo deadlift. So this one will be pretty quick, right? 50 of these you'll be able to rip through, so just got to focus on mechanics, keeping that real straight spine, and each time she keeps coming back to her heels. Big thing here is she continues to bend her knees. When you get tired, try not to just post your knees and just kind of hinge away.
If you have a dumbbell, hold it by the head of the dumbbell and tap the floor every time.
Yeah. That one's going to be pretty quick. Then jumping jacks, another pretty quick one. Some of these reps you're going to fly through. Floor presses. This time we're going single arm floor presses. So Nikki's going to lay on the ground, and this is basically a bench press done from the floor. So she'll lock that arm out over her body. Notice her knees are bent so she gets good traction on the ground with her feet. She's trying to keep her abs tight, her shoulder blades tight, and she just comes down, touches the ground. Now if you're looking at her from above, she's not coming here, she's not coming there. About a 45-degree angle to her body with her elbow, trying to keep the lat engaged. 25 right, 25 left.
And for the single arm, they could go back and forth.
Yeah, you can switch.
It doesn't have to be all 25 on one side. You can go back and forth.
Then we go to Cobra back extensions.
Yeah.
So Nikki will lay face down here. She's going to start with her hands way back behind her, and then she can just arch up, kind of prying her chest up off the ground, but notice her toes stay on the floor. And then back down. Sam, come here. Come here. Yeah, so she pries up and then comes back down. Those hands being right down by her side are what we're looking for. If you want to get crazy, you can try to put your hands behind your head. That is a little bit harder just from the weight distribution. It gets a little bit tougher to keep your feet on the ground. But these are pretty slow and controlled. Your goal is 50 reps of kind of constant tension. You'll probably have to take some breaks, but that's what we're going for. And then goblet squats. The second to last movement is the goblet squat. This is 2-arm. Most people are going to have the bell bottom up, prying it into her chest as close as she can, and then just a real nice upright classic squat here, right? The knees drive out, toes stay pointed more or less forward, and you engage by sending your butt back each time. And then the finisher that you knew was coming.
Burpees!
Burpees! 50 burpees, chest to deck, jump and clap. The last two in this workout I think are going to be special. Going goblet squats to burpees are really going to be something. So go back through, check that whole list. You may have to come back to our video and see each one a couple of times, figure out what you're going to do, but it's 10 different movements through that workout.
Alright guys, everybody loves a chipper, so I hope you enjoy it. One of my favorite ways of working out. Alright, final thing is cool down. So you're going to go back to that broomstick you had for the warm-up. It's called a shoulder flexion stretch. You're probably going to want the other side.
Yep, I'm just feeling
Okay,
that.
so have the hard side down. Okay, so John is gonna, wow, but yeah, we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so John is leaning back, sending his hips back, but really what he's trying to do is let the weight of his chest kind of like push down and open up the shoulder. Okay, we're doing a minute. Okay, you can pulse it a little. You're not necessarily driving down hard for a minute. You can just hang out there and get a good stretch, and then maybe go into like, you know, a few seconds, 5 seconds of really pushing hard, and then release off of it again. Okay, a little bit of pulsing. All right, and then we're gonna do a hip flexor release. We did this, you know, one of the earlier 36 workouts. So if you have a yoga block, awesome. If you don't have a yoga block, we took a towel, rolled it up real tight. Okay, what John's gonna do is gonna lay on the floor and start actually, John, by posting your feet up in the air. So lay on your back. Feet up in the air. Good. Now take that and you're going to slide the towel under your tailbone. Okay? Once it's comfortable under that tailbone, he's going to gently lower his feet to the floor and spread them out, shoulder width or a little wider. That's fine. And just relax. Arms could be out to his side. Arms could be overhead. Most people like him just like that to the side. Okay? And what he's trying to do is breathe, deep breaths, and relax. And this, by pushing his hips up just a couple inches, is getting him a good stretch all through that hip flexor, right? So the point of this, again, don't hold on, like we say in all our stretches, just try to like truly relax those muscles, let gravity do what it's trying to do.
This is
And
wonderful.
you're holding that for at least a minute. I encourage you to go longer. 2 to 3 minutes of this should feel awesome. All right, come on up. So that's what we have for you tomorrow. It's Sunday, so we do have one Zoom workout at 10 a.m. We hope to see a bunch of you there. This workout style should be a lot more fun with friends.
Yeah, get a whole bunch of us in there.
All right, have fun.